Right. Welcome to your personalized deep dive.
Uh-huh.
Get ready because we're going to explore some pretty intense ideas
Yeah.
about like how the world might be subtly controlling us,
Mm-hmm.
Our source material today is this audio essay. It really goes deep, deep, deep into this whole concept.
Oh, yeah.
It's really thought-provoking.
Definitely.
Might make you see like just everyday things in a whole new light.
It does encourage you to like question things,
Yeah.
things that uh most of us probably just take for granted.
Right. Yeah.
And it pushes us to think about the forces that shape the choices that we make.
Yeah.
Forces that we may not even realize are at play.
Yeah, and it's funny, the essay uses this analogy about color.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you could only see in black and white.
Right.
You wouldn't even know what you were missing. And the essay kind of argues that that's sort of how societal control works.
Hmm.
We're just so used to things being a certain way that we don't even think to question
Right.
if there's like another way to see the world.
It's a powerful metaphor
Mm.
for how limited we can be
Yeah.
by the systems that we live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of the things that one of the essay's most thought-provoking arguments
Mm.
is that the breakdown of the family unit
Yeah.
is actually like a key factor in this societal control.
So the essay is saying that when like traditional family structures
Mm-hmm.
start to weaken,
Yeah.
it creates this void in people's lives.
Exactly.
Especially children, right?
Exactly. And that void can make people more susceptible to being manipulated
Yeah.
from outside forces. They're searching for something to fill that need for
Well-
connection and belonging.
And this is where the essay really made me like stop and think,
Yeah.
It claims that modern conveniences, like things we all,
Mm-hmm.
rely on, actually contribute to this loss of like essential life skills.
Right.
For example, think about it. Like we used to have to like remember directions
Oh,
or phone numbers.
Right.
Now we just use GPS in our contacts list.
It is
It's so easy.
it is a fascinating paradox though, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Because like technology makes things so much easier on the
Yeah.
surface, But the essay argues that ease
Yeah.
comes at a cost, we become
More dependent.
more dependent. Yeah.
Less self-sufficient,
Exactly.
which ultimately
Makes us more vulnerable to
Yeah.
control.
and that's where the essay's point about attention seeking like really clicked for me. It's like we've traded those essential life skills
Mm-hmm.
for this constant need
Right.
for validation
Yeah.
from the very systems that we've become so dependent on. I mean, think about it. Like, how much time do we spend
Oh, the tough.
scrolling on social media, just like seeking out likes and comments?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
almost like our attention has become
Yeah.
the currency of the modern world.
It's
It's kind of scary.
it is a pretty bleak picture.
Yeah.
When you put it that way.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the essay's strengths,
Mhm.
It forces us to like confront
Yeah.
some of these uncomfortable truths about the world
About the world we live in. Yeah.
we live in and the ways we might be
Participating.
in our own control.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the essay goes even further, that makes this really unsettling claim
Okay.
that that the system actually creates what it defines as disability.
It's what's fascinating here is how the essay defines disability.
Right.
It's not just about like, physical limitations, but about any deviation from what the system considers
Yeah.
normal behavior.
So if you don't fit into this mold,
Yeah.
if you don't function in a way
Yeah.
that benefits the system,
Right.
you're labeled as a problem.
Right, like a disability. Yeah.
It's a disability.
And it's interesting because the World Health Organization
Mhm.
actually predicted that stress would be like a leading cause of disability
Huh.
by 2020.
Wow.
It makes you wonder
Yeah.
if the very systems that we rely on are actually like
Contributing.
to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
That is.
Okay, so buckle up because this is
Right.
where the essay starts to get a little dystopian.
Okay.
It talks about how homogenization through things like our education system
Right.
and social norms
Mhm.
actually strips away our individuality.
The essay's point is that when everyone is treated the same,
Right.
molded into the same the same shape,
Yeah.
unique talents and potential are often overlooked or even stifled, right?
Totally.
And this can lead to
Like a purposelessness.
yeah, a sense of purposelessness, like a lack of direction.
In a society full of people who don't have like a strong sense of self
Right.
is much easier to control.
Much easier.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't know
Like who you are.
who you are or what you believe in,
Yeah.
you're more likely to just
Go with the flow.
go along with whatever the system tells you
Yeah.
to do.
That's kind of chilling when you think about
It
it.
is.
But the essay does offer like some potential solutions.
Always
some
did.
some ways to like push back against these forces and
Sure.
reclaim our
All ears. What do we do?
Right. So the first piece of advice the essay gives is it's pretty simple.
Okay.
But it's powerful.
Okay.
Stay vigilant. Question everything.
Yeah.
Don't just passively accept the information that
Yeah.
you're given.
Right.
Or the narratives that are being pushed on you.
Be critical thinkers.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just
Take things at face value.
right.
Dig a little deeper, look for evidence,
Yeah.
and form your own opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the essay also cautions against falling for what it calls the savior narrative.
What is that?
The idea that, someone or something outside of ourselves
Yeah.
is going to come and
Right.
fix everything.
I mean, it's tempting to believe that,
Oh, totally. Right.
especially when things feel overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But the essay argues that real change
Yeah.
starts with each of us.
With each of us, yeah.
Individually.
So instead of waiting for like a superhero to
Right.
come save the day,
right.
Yeah.
We need to become the heroes
Right.
of our own stories.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that too.
Yeah.
But what does that actually like look like in
Yeah.
practice?
Well, the essay suggests three key actions
Yeah.
you can take to reclaim yourself
Okay.
and resist control.
All right.
First, as we've discussed, is critical thinking.
Right.
Sharpen your mind,
Yeah.
analyze information, and form your own conclusions.
Okay, so that's number one.
What's number one?
What's number two?
Number two is focus on relearning
Yeah.
essential life skills,
Like what?
like things like learning to cook,
Right.
garden,
Yeah.
fix things around the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Those skills that like our grandparents just,
Took for granted.
took for granted.
Yeah.
And we've lost touch with.
We've totally lost touch with. Yeah.
Okay, so critical thinking.
Relearning essential life skills.
That's two.
What's number three?
Number three is the essay stresses the importance of connecting with genuine
Okay.
human experiences.
Like what do you mean?
So, put down the phone, step away from the screen,
Yeah.
and engage with the world
Right.
and the people around you
Yeah.
in a real and meaningful way.
Okay, so it's not just about like thinking differently.
It's about living differently. Yeah.
It's about living differently. Yeah.
It's a holistic
Okay.
approach to reclaiming yourself
Yeah.
and resisting these subtle forces of control that shape our modern world.
This is a lot to process.
It is, yeah.
It's really eye-opening to think about how much we might be like
Yeah.
controlled without even realizing it.
I know.
But like you said, awareness
Awareness is the first step.
is the first step. And this
Yeah.
deep dive is definitely making me more aware. We'll be right back after a short break.
Yeah, it really is a lot to unpack, This essay, it's like a flashlight, like a flashlight in a dark room.
Totally.
Illuminating all these things that maybe we haven't even noticed before.
And you know what really struck a chord with me was when the essay talked about like
Yeah.
attention becoming like this precious commodity, in this digital age.
Right.
It's almost like our attention is being like mined,
Mhm.
like it's a valuable resource that companies and platforms are like constantly trying to extract.
It's a fascinating analogy,
Yeah.
and the essay argues that that this constant demand for our attention
Yeah.
stems in part from that breakdown of the family unit
Oh, right.
that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Without those strong early bonds, people might grow up, seeking validation and connection in less healthy places.
So if someone's not like getting that sense of belonging, and validation from family
Right.
or community,
Right.
they might turn to social media or online platforms, to
Yeah.
try and fill that void,
Exactly.
like always chasing likes and follows
Right.
instead of
Instead of genuine.
genuine human connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about the potential consequences of that, right?
Probably.
Like imagine a society where everyone's so focused on
Yeah.
getting attention online
Right.
that they completely lose sight
Of what's real.
of real world relationships and real world experiences.
It's almost like we're trading real connection for like
Right.
a pale imitation, like a
Not
digital
substitute. Yeah.
They can never really like satisfy those
Right.
deep human needs.
It can, and that that brings us to another interesting point
Okay.
that the essay makes about the dangers.
Okay.
Sure.
Of homogenization.
Right.
It argues that when education and social systems treat everyone the same,
Yeah.
it actually stifles our individuality and our creativity.
It's like we're all being like put through this giant cookie cutter,
Right.
shaped into these uniform,
Right,
predictable
there.
individuals.
Individual.
But the thing is, like humans,
What do you
aren't
do
like-
with this?
we all have.
We have unique talents, unique potential
Yeah.
that deserve to be nurtured,
Exactly.
not suppressed.
And the essay suggests that this homogenization actually like makes us
easier to control.
easier to control, right?
Yeah, because if everyone thinks and acts
Yeah.
the same way,
The same way.
it's much simpler to predict and manipulate behavior.
It's a little chilling,
It is
It is.
when you think about it.
It is a little chilling, but remember,
Yeah.
the essay is not all doom and gloom.
There's some hope.
It offers some practical ways to resist this control.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was getting a little
It can be worried there.
it can be a little heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
But it it emphasizes the importance of staying vigilant,
Yeah.
questioning everything we're told,
Right.
and looking beyond the surface.
Okay.
It reminds us that real change often starts at the local level,
Okay.
in our own communities.
So instead of like waiting for some kind of like global revolution,
Right.
we should focus on making a difference like in our own backyards.
Exactly. And it stresses the importance of reclaiming ourselves
Right,
through critical thinking, relearning those essential life skills we talked about, and connecting with genuine human experiences.
Yeah. Right. These are all ways to step outside the system to become more self-reliant
Okay.
and less susceptible to manipulation.
So it's like a recipe for like a more authentic
It is.
and empowered life.
It is.
Yeah.
The essay's main message is about taking ownership of our lives, of our choices.
Right.
Right. It encourages us to become
Active participants.
active participants rather than passive consumers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that starts with awareness.
Right.
Once we see the subtle ways that control operates,
Yeah.
we can start to make different choices.
That's a great point. I mean, awareness really, really is key.
It is.
And this deep dive is definitely making me more aware of those subtle forces
Good.
at play
Yeah.
in my own life.
And speaking of awareness, one of the essay's most thought-provoking sections is its analysis of how the system actually creates what it defines as disability, right?
Okay. Yeah. I wanted to dive back into that concept
Okay.
because it's a really, really intriguing one,
It is.
and I think it could be helpful for me to like understand it
Yeah.
more deeply.
Okay.
Can you like remind me how the essay
Yeah.
makes that connection?
So the essay argues that as we become more and more reliant on systems and technology,
Yeah.
we lose those essential life skills we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Think about it. Like, we rely on GPS for directions. Wow. We order our groceries online.
Yeah.
We even hire people to assemble like simple furniture,
It's true. These conveniences are like marketed as making our lives easier, but are they actually making us more helpless in the long run?
That's the question the essay poses. Yeah. And in this context, anyone who can't keep up, right, with the demands of the system, anyone who deviates from the prescribed norms, might be labeled as disabled or needing intervention.
So it's not just about like physical limitations.
Right.
It's about like anyone who doesn't fit the mold,
who doesn't function in a way.
Who doesn't function.
That benefits the system.
Yeah.
And it creates a sort of
like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
A self-fulfilling prophecy, yeah.
Yeah.
Because as people become more and more dependent on these systems, they may actually lose the confidence and the skills to function independently.
Yeah.
Which then reinforces this idea that they need help, that they need intervention.
Yeah. That's kind of bleak, isn't it?
It can be, but the essay does offer a glimmer of hope here.
Okay.
It suggests that we can resist this by consciously choosing to cultivate essential life skills, maintain our independence, and challenge those narrow definitions of ability and disability.
So it's about like reclaiming our agency.
It is
redefining what it means to be like capable.
Exactly.
And pushing back against those limiting labels.
Yes.
It's about creating a world that values like diversity and understands that everyone has something.
Everyone has something
unique to contribute.
Yeah. Right. It all ties back to the essay's central theme of reclaiming our self.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that a bit more? Like what does it mean to reclaim ourself in the context of this essay?
So the essay argues that this loss of self, right, is a direct result of the breakdown of the family unit,
right,
and the erosion of traditional community structures.
Okay.
So without those strong bonds, we become more susceptible to external influences, and may find it harder to define our own values and beliefs.
So it's like we're searching for something to fill that void, something to give us a sense of purpose and meaning,
right?
And we might end up like turning to the very systems, that are contributing to our sense of disconnection.
That's a very astute observation, and the essay suggests that the way to resist this is to actively cultivate a sense of self, right? To define our own values and beliefs, and to find meaning and purpose outside of the confines of the system.
That sounds like a challenging.
It is,
but like incredibly rewarding journey.
It is. It is both of those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
This deep dive is definitely pushing me to do some of that introspection.
Good.
Okay.
That's the first step, right?
Yeah.
Recognizing the patterns, and once we see them, we can start to make different choices.
Okay. And the essay also, it dives deep into how our world is being like primed for control through this like erosion of those essential life skills we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it provides a lot of examples, from relying on GPS for navigation to ordering food online instead of cooking, right?
Right.
It paints this picture of a society that's becoming
helpless,
increasingly helpless and dependent.
And as we become more dependent,
we become easier to control.
Right? It's almost like we're handing over like the reins of our lives to these technologies that we've come to rely on.
Well, we rely on, yeah.
That's the essay's argument, and it challenges us to reclaim those lost skills.
Yeah.
Not just for practical reasons, right? Right. But as a way to to assert our independence and resist this creeping control. Yeah.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
It's making me want to go like learn how to fix a leaky faucet or bake bread from scratch, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the takeaway here.
Yeah.
You know, the essay is a call to action.
It's a challenge to wake up and reclaim our power.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we are capable
of so much more.
So much more than we often realize.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to take some of these ideas and like put them into practice in my own life.
I love that.
You know, it's a bit overwhelming, but
it can be. Yeah.
It's also exciting to think about the possibilities.
Absolutely. And remember, you know, it's not about doing everything perfectly or becoming completely self-sufficient overnight.
Right.
Right. It's about taking small steps, making conscious choices, and gradually shifting our relationship with the systems and technologies that we interact with every day.
So it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it's a journey that we can all take together.
I love that. It's a reminder that we're not alone. We're not alone in this.
Yeah, there are others who are waking up, who are questioning the status quo, and who are working
to
create a better world.
Yeah, right.
You know,
and by connecting with those people, you know, by supporting each other and by sharing our experiences, we can amplify our impact and accelerate the process.
Exactly.
Change, right?
Absolutely.
I'm feeling so energized by this conversation.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new world of possibility.
That's the power of awareness.
Is opening up.
Once we see things differently,
we
can start to act differently.
Yeah.
And the essay provides a roadmap for those actions, you know?
Right.
Those steps that we can take to reclaim our power and create a more authentic and fulfilling life.
Okay, so we've talked about the problem. We've talked about like the solutions, but before we wrap up this deep dive, I'd love to spend a little more time like exploring some of the essays, like more nuanced points. You know?
Oh, okay.
I'm particularly intrigued by its discussion of how this system subtly manipulates our perception of what's normal and what's disabled.
That's a great topic to dive into.
Yeah.
You know, the essay argues that as our world becomes increasingly standardized and homogenized, any deviation from the prescribed norms of behavior, you know, is seen as a problem.
A problem.
To be fixed.
Right, controlled.
It's like we're being told there's only one right way to be.
Right. One right way to
think, one right way to live.
To live.
And if you don't fit that
narrow definition.
You're labeled as deficient, abnormal.
Exactly. And the essay points out that this intolerance is often disguised
as care
or concern.
Right.
So for example, you know, a child who is naturally energetic or curious might be diagnosed with ADHD. And medicated into submission.
It's like we're pathologizing like normal human behavior.
Normal human behavior.
And using medication to like enforce conformity.
That's a powerful way to put it.
Yeah.
And the essay argues that this trend is directly related to the desire for control.
Right.
You know, a society of individuals who think for themselves, who question authority and who challenge the status quo is much harder to control than a society of people who are medicated to complacency.
It's a chilling thought. It is. But the essay also, you know, it offers some hope here by reminding us that we have the power to resist this trend.
Okay, how do we do that?
We can embrace diversity.
Okay.
We can celebrate our differences and we can challenge those narrow definitions of normal that are being imposed upon us.
So it's about reclaiming the right to be ourselves.
It is.
To express our individuality and to create a world that that values uniqueness rather than conformity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another fascinating point in the essay, the analysis of how the quest for attention has become like a driving force in modern society.
It's like everyone's constantly vying for likes and shares, and follow, just desperate to be seen and heard in this vast
digital landscape.
It's exhausting.
It is, and the essay argues that this insatiable hunger for attention is a symptom of a deeper societal ill. A yearning for connection and belonging that has been eroded by the very systems that claim to be serving us.
So it's not that people are like inherently attention seeking. It's that they're seeking to fill a void that's been created by the breakdown of those other community structures,
family and community structures we talked about earlier.
That's a very insightful way to put it. And the essay suggests that if we could address those root causes, if we could rebuild those strong family and community bonds, perhaps people wouldn't be so desperate for external validation.
Like we're trying to find love and connection in all the wrong places.
Precisely. And the essay challenges us to look beyond the superficial. Right? And to seek out genuine human connection in our real lives. In our communities, in our relationships with those we love.
That's a beautiful reminder.
It is.
And it makes me think that maybe the key to resisting control is to cultivate a sense of inner fulfillment.
Yes.
Like a deep sense of connection with ourselves and our purpose.
That's a profound insight.
Yeah.
And it aligns with the essay's emphasis on reclaiming ourself, on rediscovering our inherent worth
and value
as human beings. This deep dive is really making me like think about my own life in a whole new way.
Great.
It's both challenging and inspiring.
It's designed to be both.
Yeah.
It's a wake up call, but it's also a call to action.
Yeah, and speaking of action, the essay also dives into this really interesting idea that the system is manipulating our history, and suppressing knowledge.
It argues that control
that could empower us to break free.
Controlling the narrative of the past is essential for maintaining power.
Right.
Yeah. By limiting our understanding of history.
Right.
Those in power can shape our perception
of what's possible,
of the present and the future.
Yeah, of the present, of the future.
Yeah,
it's like we're being kept in the dark about our true
potential.
About the possibilities that exist beyond the confines of the system.
Yeah, it's like we need to become our own historians.
We do.
Piecing together the fragments of truth.
The fragments of truth, that
have been
scattered
and hidden.
And the essay is really about empowering us to think for ourselves and to reclaim our agency.
This deep dive is definitely giving me a lot to think about and a lot to research.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. The essay's goal is to spark curiosity and to encourage us to dig deeper, to question everything, and to never stop learning.
Yeah, and the essay also offers some practical advice.
It does.
On how to resist control in our daily lives.
Absolutely. And one of the key points
it emphasizes is the importance of cultivating critical
thinking skills.
Critical thinking skills, yes.
So learning to
question everything.
Look for evidence. Form our own conclusions rather than just
blindly accept
what we're told.
Yeah. The essay encourages us to develop a healthy skepticism.
Okay.
Especially towards information coming from, mainstream media or those in authority.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. We need to become discerning consumers of information.
Okay.
Filtering out the noise and the propaganda and focusing on what's truly important.
So it's like we need to become like information detectives,
Yes.
Always on the lookout for clues, expert speaker, and it's like we need to become information detectives,
Yeah, always on the lookout. Always on the lookout for clues and evidence that can help us, understand the world around us.
To see through
clearly
the illusions.
Right. Yeah. Okay, and the essay also stresses the importance of building strong communities.
Oh, absolutely.
Connecting with like-minded people and like supporting each other in this journey of awakening.
There's strength in numbers,
Right.
It's much harder to control a group of people who are united and who are supporting each other.
It's like we're building our own like support system,
Yes.
Our own network of resilience and mutual aid to counter the forces that are trying to divide and conquer us.
Beautifully put. And the essay also reminds us that taking action, even small actions, is essential for resisting control in our daily lives.
So things like growing our own food, making our own clothes, repairing our own possessions, like supporting local businesses, opting out of consumerism, and generally just finding ways to live more simply and sustainably.
Precisely. And these actions, they not only reduce our dependence on the system, but they also send a powerful message that we're not content to be passive consumers or obedient subjects.
It's like we're reclaiming our agency, asserting our independence and like creating this ripple effect that can inspire others to do the same.
It's about taking back control of our lives one small step at a time.
The essay also offers some pretty fascinating insights into the psychological tactics.
Oh yeah.
That are used to control and manipulate us.
It does, yeah. One of the most common tactics is the use of fear.
Right. Creating a sense of constant like threat,
yeah,
or danger, whether real or imagined, to keep people in a state of like,
anxiety,
and make them more willing to surrender their freedoms in exchange for like security, right?
Yeah, and the essay points out how this tactic has been used throughout history, right?
Oh yeah.
To justify wars, to suppress dissent, and to maintain control over populations.
It's like we're constantly being told that there's something to be afraid of,
right?
Whether it's terrorists or immigrants, economic collapse or a pandemic, and that the only way to stay safe is to trust the authorities and obey their commands.
Right, and the essay encourages us to question those narratives of fear, and to look deeper into the motivations behind them.
Another tactic the essay mentions is the use of propaganda.
And propaganda is often disguised,
right.
as news, entertainment, or even education,
right? Yeah.
Which can make it even more effective.
Right. It's like we're being bombarded with messages that reinforce the dominant narratives, and discourage critical thinking, and independent thought.
Yeah, and the essay encourages us to become more discerning consumers of information, to question the sources of our news, and to seek out a diversity of perspectives.
It's about becoming more aware of the subtle ways in which our thoughts and beliefs are being shaped by external forces.
Precisely, and another key tactic the essay highlights is the use of distraction.
Right, keeping people preoccupied with trivial matters, entertainment and consumerism to prevent them from focusing on the real issues.
Right, the real issues that threaten the power structure.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the essay argues that we live in a culture of distraction. Yeah.
Where it's difficult to focus on what's truly important.
It's like we're living in this perpetual state of like
sensory overload.
Yeah, just numbed and pacified.
By this constant stream of distractions.
Yeah, and the essay challenges us to resist this by consciously choosing to disconnect from the noise.
Yeah.
Simplify our lives.
Okay.
And focus on what truly matters.
So it's about like reclaiming our attention, our time and our energy, and like redirecting those resources towards building a better world.
Exactly. The essay reminds us that we have the power to choose how we spend our time and energy, and that those choices have a profound impact on our well-being and the well-being of our communities.
This is all making me think about like my relationship with technology, you know. Yeah. The essay has some interesting things to say about the role of technology in this whole system of control.
It does, it presents technology as a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it can be this incredibly powerful tool for liberation, for connection, for creativity. But on the other hand, it can also be used to control, to manipulate, and to exploit.
It's like we're constantly being told that technology is inherently good,
right,
and progressive. But the essay's like, whoa.
Hold on a second.
Like
take a closer look.
Recognize its potential for both good and evil.
Yes, and it specifically warns against the increasing integration of technology into our lives through devices like smartphones, smart homes, wearable technology.
It's like we're becoming increasingly dependent on these devices, you know.
We are, we're outsourcing our thinking, our memories, even our decision making
to algorithms
and artificial intelligence.
And the essay argues that this dependence makes us
more vulnerable
to control and manipulation, right?
Yes, because those who control the technology can control our access to information, our communication, and even our thoughts and behaviors.
It's a pretty dystopian picture, but one that feels increasingly plausible.
It does.
Given the rapid pace of technological advancement.
It does, but the essay also reminds us that we have the power to choose how we use technology to set boundaries and to maintain our autonomy in the face of these encroaching forces.
So it's about using technology consciously and intentionally rather than allowing it to use us.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming our agency. And creating a world where technology serves humanity rather than the other way around.
This deep dive is really opening my eyes to the subtle ways in which technology can be used to shape our perceptions.
Absolutely.
And influence our behavior.
It is that's one of the essay's goals. To help us see these patterns more clearly. So that we can make more informed choices.
One of the points in the essay that really struck me was its discussion of how the system manipulates our perception of reality.
It argues that the system creates a kind of artificial reality, right? This carefully constructed bubble that shields us from the harsh realities of the world and keeps us passive
and compliant. It's like the Matrix, but instead of being plugged into like a computer simulation, we're plugged into this system of information control, consumerism, and entertainment that just keeps us distracted
and disengaged
from what's really going on.
That's a very astute observation. And the essay points out how this artificial reality is maintained through a variety of means, including propaganda, censorship, distraction, and the suppression of dissenting voices.
It's like we're living in this carefully curated world, where we're only shown what those in power
want us to see.
And any information that challenges the dominant narrative is just quickly
stressed or discredited.
Stressed or discredited, right?
Yes, and the essay, the essay challenges us to break free from this artificial reality by questioning everything, seeking out alternative sources of information and connecting with the real world and the people around us.
So it's about like waking up.
It is. It's about waking up
to the true nature.
To the true nature of the world.
Of the world, yeah.
And reclaiming our ability to think for ourselves and to see things
clearly.
With clear eyes.
It's about becoming like active participants.
Active participants.
In shaping our own reality.
Yes.
Rather than just passive recipients.
And passive recipients.
Of the reality that's being imposed upon us.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, this deep dive has been incredible.
It has.
It's given me so much to think about, I feel like. Like I've been given this new lens through which to view the world.
I love that.
And a renewed like sense of purpose.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for guiding me through this exploration.
It was my pleasure. And remember, the journey of awakening is ongoing.
Right.
Right. And every step we take toward a greater awareness and empowerment brings us closer to creating the world that we want to live in.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
We hope it sparked your own curiosity.
Yes.
And inspired you to take action in your own lives.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep questioning.
Keep questioning.
Keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
And keep creating the world you want to see.
That's it.